well, we'll work on core. Let's start by sitting in our chair upright so you guys know that you couldn't sit upright without using your core. It's just not possible. So if I wasn't using my core, I'd probably fall off the chair. We don't want to do that. We want to stay upright in the chair. So if you take yourself forward in the chair, then you're not leaning back. So here's another way I'm not using my core that I call this Shlumpasana. So if we're sitting like this, back in the chair, we're not using our core. It's not engaged. But if we come forward in the chair and we're nice and alert, not necessarily like, like military stiff, but sitting nice and upright, and then start to take some breaths in and out through the nose, becoming aware of your breath. With each breath, feel as though it's lifting you. And we each exhale, feel that softening back down. As we start to engage the core, that breath is going to become more of a contraction in. But for now, let's just start with a nice, easy breath in and out through the nose, unless, of course, you're stuffy. So breathing, I'm a little stuffy. Breathe in and breathe out through the nose. And we're going to start to change this into what we call corset breath. And we've done it, I think, the last few times, but I really like it because it helps you to feel how your breath alone can help you to engage your core. So you're going to take an inhale, normal inhale through the nose, but on your exhale, make the sound shh. Try that. Inhale and exhale. Shh. Take it all the way to the end. Notice when you do the shush that your belly goes in. It contracts in. Try it again. Inhale, exhale, shh. So not everybody's going to have the same long shush. Everyone's going to have a different duration, but take it to the end of your shush. All right, so notice that's another word for this breath is called corset breath. It's pulling in. So it's either shush breath or corset. And it's like everything is pulling in and then you're lifting up as a result of it. By the way, feel like you can stand whenever you need to stand. If you've been sitting and you need to stand, please do. If we're standing and you want to sit, then please do. Take breaks when you need to. If you haven't been working out or exercising in the last few weeks and you're just coming back into it, then go at your pace. Get energized, but you don't want to get over fatigued. So pace yourself. That's part of the yoga, is tuning into how you're feeling in that moment. Now, I think someone needs to be muted unless they have a question. Let's take our arms wide on the inhale. Reach right and left. Spread your fingers. And on the exhale, bring your fingers in towards you. Inhale, open it up, reach long, right and left, spreading fingers. Exhale, pull it back in. Reach out, and on the exhale, interlace your fingers and press your palms into your heart. Take a breath in and a breath out. Now push your fingers in towards each other, but pull them apart at the same time. That's like an isometric. Push in, pull out. Push webbing toward each other and then pull elbows away without releasing the interlaced fingers. And then Inhale, take your hands forward, turn the palms forward. So let's do that a few times. Inhale, press away. Exhale, turn it. Press the palms away. So inhale, knuckles go away. Exhale, palms press away from you. You got that. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Release. Press your palms away now. Feel your shoulder blades on your back. Spread your fingers and imagine that elevator door is closing on you, and then press it away. Inhaling and exhaling as you push those doors away. Don't you dare close on me. Inhale, pull the hands in towards you, and exhale, push, 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 push the doors. Let that go. Circle the shoulders around and about, loosening up the shoulders and all the muscles and fascia around them. So you're lifting your shoulders, taking them back, down, and around. Lift, back, down, and around. A few more times like that. You can bend your elbows. That helps you to find the range of motion. And then come back to neutral. Take your hands to the side of the chair. Extend your right heel forward. Roll the shoulders up and back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Point your toes away from you and pull them back towards you. Point away and pull in. So you can view that as an inhale and an exhale, and an inhale as you point, and an exhale as you flex. Don't worry if it doesn't quite match. It's okay. Then, holding on to the side of the chair, keeping the shoulders back, pull your belly in on the exhale and maybe lift the leg. As you lift the leg, push down through the left foot. Breathe in. Breathe out, and maybe you take your left arm out to the side. We're in spinal balance. We are using our core to lift that heavy leg. Now, if it's too heavy, place it down. That's okay. Imagine that you're lifting it up, and you can touch your quad and make sure it's awake. Make sure it's awake. Let's exhale, lower the leg down. Try to lift from the quad. So one way to do this is to push your hand into the quad and the quad into your hand as you lift the leg. So that's another way to contract and lift and use your muscles. And release and let that go. Let's open and close the legs a few times. This is like a little butterfly. Pretend you're a butterfly and you're flapping your wings. Breathe in and breathe out. The other side now. So let's extend the left leg, heel is down. Spine is lifted, roll the shoulders up and back, point your toes away from you, pull them in towards you. Point away and pull in towards you. So it's a point and it's a flex. And it's a point and it's a flex. And it's an inhale and an exhale. Now, same thing, wake up this left thigh and try lifting the leg as you stay upright. On your exhale, pull your belly in and up, and perhaps take your right leg out to the side. Now you can push down through the right foot, and that helps you to feel even more of a lift through your spine. Breathe in. And breathe out. Maybe you lower the leg down for a breath. Take an inhale. On your exhale, you're pulling your belly in and up. That's your core as you lift the leg. Breathe in and breathe out. And place the leg back in. Go back to that butterfly. Inhaling and exhaling a few times just to let any holding go. Now with the feet on the earth, take an inhale and lift all 10 toes up. Exhale, place the toes down, push them down, and inhale, lift your heels up. Exhale, lower the heels. Inhale, lift the toes. Spread them. No need to look at them. We're just sending our mind, our thoughts down, down, down to our feet. Exhale, lower the toes. Inhale, lift the heels up, and exhale and release. We're going to go to cat-cow pose, and cow is where we're really engaging the core. I'm sorry, cat is where we're engaging the core. So bones are moving back. We're making a C curve, and make sure that your neck is not dropping back. So you can place the hand behind your head if that's helpful to support it, but we don't want to drop it back. We want to keep the back of the neck long so it's not kinking. So here's our cow pose. And then here's our cat. Round your shoulders, pull your belly in. Inhale, lift up, roll the shoulders up and back, stretch the belly. Exhale, you're gonna pull the belly in, and that's the cat pose. Notice how it's curving the other way from the cow. And your chin is to your chest. And you're rounding your shoulders forward. You're feeling the shoulder blades. They are coming apart. Inhale, we lift up. That's the cow. Exhale, pull the belly in. That's the cat. Breathe in for the cow. Breathe out, pull belly in for the cat. That's the core. Inhale, lift up. You can use your hands and push them into your palms as you lift your heart up towards the sky. Exhale, curling in like a cat. Come back upright. We're going to play with twisting while we engage our core, which is super important because it protects your spine. So let's try that. This is how we're going to do this. Take your hands and place them on opposite elbows or just on your forearms. That's fine like that. In fact, use this as a way to pull away. So pull your elbows away as you grip onto your forearms. Feel that. We're going to use that motion as we twist. You're not going to use your arms to twist though. You're going to use your inside, your core. So this is how it looks. Take an inhale. On your exhale, pull your belly in and then twist from your waistline one way. I went to the left first, but you could go the right. It doesn't matter. And then inhale, come back to center. Now, so notice how it doesn't twist that much, right? The spine only has a limited ability to twist, and we're not using our arms to twist. Breathe in, breathe out, pull the belly in, and now let's twist the other way. As you can pull your elbows apart, but you're pulling your belly in, lift from the inside, from the waistline up. Inhale, come back to center. Release, shake that out, let it go. Inhale, arms wide, and you're going to take your left arm towards the right and the right arm towards the left. That's it. Now pull your elbows back and reverse it. So now it's right towards the left is on top, left is towards the right. And we're going to keep switching which arm is on top. You got that? So pull it in, pull the elbows back like that. Do you feel your shoulder blades on the back when you pull it? Then cross the arms. They're going at a diag to the opposite corner in the room. Pull it back. Alternate which arm is on top. Exhale, pull back. Inhale, move forward and straighten the arms. Exhale, pull back. Inhale, move forward as you straighten the arms. pull back, one more each way. And one more. There we go. Let that go. Let's just take your finger pads and massage the area underneath your collarbone. Notice if you feel any tightness there. Some people do. When I do this in the classroom in person, though, it's usually about 60–70% feel some tenderness here. So this is a nice place to give yourself a little massage and get the fascia to open up. And you can use your fingertips and get in there. And the collarbone goes all the way across. So you can move your fingers. Oops, see, I'm a little tighter out here than in the center. So notice how it feels for you. It's a nice way to start to open up the shoulder area. Okay, we're going to do our core work. So take a block, or if you have an exercise ball or a toilet paper roll, and stick it in between your thighs. So we're going to start by, when you breathe in, it's like you're not squeezing the block. When you breathe out, your belly pulls in and you're squeezing the block. Not only is your belly pulling in, but your pelvic floor is too. So inhale, I'm going to take our arms wide, and then exhale, bring the fingertips together as you pull your pelvic floor in and up. Inhale, it's like you're going to drop the block, but you don't. And then exhale, squeeze the block as you pull your pelvic floor and belly in. Open it up and squeeze it. We're going to open it up. Now we're going to give ourselves a big squeeze. Squeeze yourself. Give yourself a big hug as you squeeze the block. Inhale, open up. We're not squeezing here. Exhale, go ahead and squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the block. Pull the belly in and up. That's your core. And let that go. Now, let's rock forward and back on the chair. So don't go so far forward, you're going to fall off the chair. You lean back. You might come to your tippy toes as you lean back. And notice if your core engages when you go backwards, when you go towards the back of the chair. Make sure your chair, by the way, is very stable. You can put it against a wall if you have any worries. Having the chair on a sticky mat is helpful for stability. Now, next time we lean back, let's stay there. Pull the belly in and up. Lift your heart. Maybe lift an arm up. Place it down. Lift the other arm up. Place it down. Maybe both arms. I always say maybe because it's a maybe. It really is. It's all dependent on you. And release. Let that go. Take the block out. Put that to the side. And we'll play with lifting one leg. So this is a variation on boat pose that we do in yoga. You're going to lift one leg as you lean back. Your hands can be holding onto the side of the chair, or maybe you have the opposite arm up. This is a variation in boat pose, which engages your core. Then come back forward, and let's do the other side. So you can rock it back as you alternate arm and leg, and play with it at your pace. You can kind of make it a rhythm. So breathing in and breathing out. But when you're lifting the leg, that's the time to exhale because that's going to help your core. So when you inhale and come forward, we're not using the core. Exhale, we go back, we're using the core. Breathing in and breathing out. That's the core right there. Breath is in. And breath is out. And we're rocking back. That's when our core is engaging for sure. And you can play with how far back you go. And then release. Let's just kick the legs out. Just kick them. Go for it. Just kick them forward. You can hold on to the side of the chair or not. You might take your arms up overhead. You might do opposite, like you're going to touch your toes. Don't worry about whether you touch your toes or not. We're just cross body. So notice how we do some slow movement, and then we do some faster flowing movement, some static movement where we're still. It's good to mix it up. Make sure you're breathing. And a few more. And then come back to neutral. I'm building up a little heat. Gonna unzip the jacket. Now, let's open up the legs. And we are in a goddess or horsey pose. Now, here's another way. This is a great place to engage your core. So what you're going to do is push down through your feet and pull your heels towards each other. As you pull your heels towards each other, pull your pelvic floor and your belly in and up. That's the core. And then inhale, release that, let it go. So we don't want to keep holding. That's going to cause tightness and actually weakness. So we want to play with pulling in, contracting, but then releasing. Let's try that again. Push down through your feet, pull your heels towards each other. You'll feel the muscles engaging in your legs, and then release on the inhale. So notice how you can't see the movement that I'm describing. You have to feel it in your body. One more time. Push down through your feet, pull your heels isometrically towards each other. As you're exhaling, you're pulling everything in and up, pelvic floor muscles and belly, and let that go. Yes, that is a lot of work. Let's inhale and lift the heels up for our pretend Barbie shoes, and then exhale and let them go. Inhale, lift them up, and exhale and let them go. Take your hands to your thighs, walk your sitting bones back, roll your shoulders up and back, and lean slightly forward. Feel your shoulder blades on your back. Your spine is long. So we're not dropping our head down. Our head needs to stay in line with our spine. Pushing the palms into your thighs, rolling the shoulders back. You can feel the muscles on your back and between your shoulder blades working. If it's accessible to you, you might take one arm out or both arms out, and you might do a little bit of pulsing here. There are little pulses with the hands, and your spine might be going, or your torso might be going a little bit forward and back as you pulse it. Breathe in and breathe out. And breath is in and breath is out. Let's walk our feet back towards each other. And notice how the body's feeling now. And let's stretch both legs out. Both legs forward. Push the heels down as the toes lift. You can hold on to the side of the chair and then circle your ankles. Make circles like you're painting with the tip of your toes, and then reverse it. We're really trying to open up and move all the joints that get sticky. This time of year, it's chilly out, and our joints maybe feel a little bit even more stiff when we wake up. So it's a good idea to move them around. And then let's pull both legs in, and we're going to circle around on our hips one way and then the other way. Notice how you feel the change in weight in your feet and in your hips. Come back upright. Time for a side bend. We haven't done one yet. So we're going to combine that with warrior two. Take your left leg or your right leg out to the side, and your left leg can either stay forward or you can extend it out. Now, if it's hard to take it all the way to the side, you can bring it forward like this. Adjust yourself on the chair so that you're comfortable. You don't want to feel like the chair is cutting into your thighs. So find that place that's right for you. And then we lift tall again. And to help us come into our strength, we're going to do Ganesha Mudra. So take one hand in front of you and the other behind it, and then you're going to curl your fingers in towards each other. I'm going to just show you for a moment so you can see that. My knuckles are or my fingers are coming in towards the other. They're interlaced. Not really interlaced. They're pushing in against each other. So when you pull apart, that's your strength. Now, we're going to use that with our warrior two. That was a little commercial break for Ganesha Mudra. So here we are. We're pulling elbows away from each other. We're growing tall. Push down through your feet. As you exhale, lift in and up. That's core again. Now maybe you gaze over towards your right elbow or over the shoulder. Careful on the neck. Only turn as much as your neck will allow. Listen to your neck. Your neck will tell you your messages. And then maybe you open up your arms. Maybe you open them up. Relax the shoulders down. You are in warrior two. You want your knees over your middle toes. Sometimes the knees fall out like this or in like that, but push down through your heel, your big toe mound, and your little ones, and line up the knee. Line up the knee over your middle toes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's take our right forearm to the thigh and circling the left arm around to find eventually our side bend. And your elbow can be bent or straight. Here's what it looks like. Here's our side bend. And then you may choose to straighten the arm over your ear. This is called side angle pose. Breathe in, breathe out. Now you might look down because that's easiest on your neck. You might look forward towards the screen, or you might look up towards the sky. Breath is in, breath is out. These are little small adjustments. Breathe in, maybe you pull the elbow back. Breathe out, maybe you extend. We're going to push down through our feet and rise up. Relax the arms and walk your feet back towards each other. Other side. Take the left knee out to the side. Adjustments with that right leg. It's either coming out to the side, it's either maybe going at a diag, or maybe the knee is bent. And adjust yourself on the chair. I really like to bring on the chair and the other leg off, because then it's not cutting my thigh in any way. With the chair's not pushing into it, but do what's best for you. A lot of people like to sit on the corner of the chair. That's helpful too. And then we're going to lift tall, and we're going to go to that Ganesha Mudra. And now take the opposite hand in front. Our Ganesha Mudra, pulling. You're trying to pull and separate the elbows. You might feel your shoulder blades. Notice what's going on back there. You might feel like they're moving apart, and you might feel like the muscles are activating. And then gaze over towards your left shoulder. Breathe in. Breathe out. Try to pull your hands apart at the same time you're pushing down through your feet. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's open up the arms into a T. Relaxing the shoulders. Pushing down through the left thigh. Pushing down through both feet. You'll feel some activation in your legs, maybe your hips. Bring the left thigh to your bring your forearm to your left thigh. Roll the shoulder back. So we don't want this bottom shoulder coming forward. Make sure you're pulling it back. And then circle your arms around and about as you breathe in. And as you breathe out. And how about we bend this elbow? It's over our head. And then you might straighten it as you lengthen. So this is called side angle. You're getting a big side stretch as you lengthen over your ear. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breath is in. And breath is out. Good. One more. Push down through your feet. Lengthen through your side body. Remember, or up. And then we're going to push down through our feet. Push them down, push them down, push them down. Rise up. Awesome. You guys are awesome. Walk your feet back towards each other and we're going to stand. So one of the best poses for working towards standing is chair pose, otherwise known as, some people call it like fierce pose. But you may or may not put a block in between you, and you might be facing a counter or have a chair in front of you for balance. We're going to rock forward and back. And notice again how your core is engaging as you rock back. And then we're going to lift up into our chair pose. Your hands could be on a chair in front of you. Your hands could be at your hips. Your hands could be on your opposite shoulders. That's a nice one. Breathe in. Breathe out. Notice how the weight is in your back heel, but push down through the whole foot. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then stand upright. And release your arms, and you can release the block if you had it in there. And we'll work towards wall dog. I'm turning the chair so you can see me. So facing the chair, we're in our mountain pose. So our feet are parallel. And take the shoulders up and back. Push down through your feet. As you push down through your feet, you might feel your core engage. You're pushing down through your toe pads and your heels, and that helps actually. You're going to feel some contracting in the legs, and bring your hands to the chair and walk yourself back, keeping your knees bent. Walk yourself back so your hips are going towards your heels, or maybe even a little bit further back as you bend your knees. Knees are forward over middle toes. And you want your spine nice and long. Notice if it's dipping down like that. We want to lift the ribs up. So if you feel your belly swooping down, then press your ribs upward as you pull your belly in and up. So pulling back through the hips as you reach forward, so you're getting some nice traction and lengthening in the spine. You might feel it in your shoulders, and if it's too much, then bend your elbows and walk in towards the chair a little bit. And then you can kind of pulse, trying to straighten the legs, and maybe they don't straighten all the way, and that's perfectly fine. And then let's walk ourselves back towards the chair and come on up. And notice how the body feels now. We're going to work on plank pose with the chair. Now, I highly advise that you have the chair against a wall, because then you know that chair is not moving. You definitely want to make sure you're using a stable chair. We're going to take our hands to the seat of the chair and walk ourselves back. And then you can let your hips come forward, and your heels may or may not lift off. So this is plank pose with the chair standing. Now we're going to press the hips back, and we're back to that wall dog. And the hips are moving back and the spine is lengthening. And then let's take it forward. Take it forward, pull your bellies in so you don't want your hips going forward like that. I don't know if you can see that. You probably can. So we don't want that. We want the ribs lifting, the hips lifting, so it's all in one line from head to heel. And then press back. Press the hips back. Let's do that again. Come forward, come forward, come forward. You might feel a stretch in your calves, by the way. Pull the ribbies back. Try to keep your shoulders on your back. Belly's pulling in towards your spine. Ribs are moving back. Yeah, I didn't say it was easy. And then come on back. And walk your hands back towards the chair. And notice how that is. Shake out your hands. Let's release the wrists. You might take one hand forward and then use your other hand to pull the fingertips towards you. It looks like this down, so you can see. I don't know if you can see that. But so you're pulling it in, giving it a little stretch. And then go ahead and do it the other way. So you're going to turn your hand down. Use your hand to pull the fingers towards you, and you might get a stretch along there, along the back of the forearm. and stretch that thumb out to the side. Ooh, that gets tight. This area gets tight. And then let's do the other side. So left arm's forward, use your right hand, pull the fingers in towards your wrist or towards your forearm. So that's stretching this area. And then turn the palm down. So away from you, thumb is going away. And then use your other hand to press in, and that's going to get the back of the forearm. It's good to open up the wrist lines. They take a lot of brunt too with the typing and the texting. And almost everything we do, we've got our hands like this. So it's nice to give them an opposite stretch. Shake that out, let that go. And let's do a few lunges on our way down to the earth. So before we go down, we'll do a few lunges. Facing the chair, hands on the chair. So you start in your mountain pose and then take your left leg back, and you can keep the heel up. So this right hip is moving back, left leg is straight, spine is long, and then bend the back knee a little bit and straighten it. And bend it and straighten it. So bending back knee and then straightening and pushing back. One more. Let's hold it here. Now maybe you come up onto your fingertips, roll the shoulders up and back. Breathe in. Breathe out. You might feel your legs shaking a little bit. As long as you feel safe, that's okay. That's just, you're strengthening. You're getting stronger. And then taking your hands to the chair, step your left foot to meet your right. Notice how your body feels now. Left foot is forward now, and right leg's going to move back for lunge on the opposite side. So heels back, get nice and long through the spine. Some of you might, by the way, want to hold on to the back of the chair because that's better for you, and that's fine. Bend the back knee and straighten it, and bending and straightening, trying to keep the knee right over the middle toes on this front knee. You don't want it moving inward or outward. So if you drew a line from your kneecap all the way down to your middle toes, it'd be a nice long straight line. Then you might come up onto your fingertips or not. You can stay slightly forward. Try to keep the shoulders on the back. Belly pulling in and up. Breathe in, breathe out. You might be feeling a stretch in the front of the thigh. That would be pretty normal to feel that. And then step the back foot to meet the front and come back up. And notice how the body feels now. And we're going to work our way down to the earth. Bring a strap and a block, and you might put a blanket down so that when you go down to the earth, your knees have a cushion. Now, here's one way to go down using that lunge. So you would have your hand on the chair and then take your leg back, the inside leg. So my outside leg is the one outside the chair. And then slowly come down onto that knee and bring the other knee to join. And that would be one way to do this. Once you get down, I'm just going to move the chair out of the way. Come onto all fours. So you're on your hands and knees. And knees are about hip distance apart. Take your time to get there. Palms are under your shoulders and slightly forward. I don't like them directly under because it shortens the table. So if you can walk your hands forward a little bit, that's helpful. And then walking your knees back also is helpful. And let's rock forward and back. Just a little bit of rocking, getting used to touching the earth. Press your palms down. Press your finger pads down. I see this a lot, that the part of the and the pointer finger part is lifting, that's really hard on your wrists. So please try to push this down. Another thing you can do is put a little rolled towel or washcloth there. You can roll the yoga mat like that. The wrist is on the roll and the fingers are off. I'm happy to show you that after class if you'd like to see it in more detail. And then let's bring our heart forward and our hips back, and then pull your ribs up towards the sky so that you feel like you have a very supported spine and your belly's pulling in when you pull those ribs up. So take a breath in. On your exhale, feel the tone in your belly as your ribs are lifting and your spine is supported. Then extend your right leg back. Push the heel back and get a nice calf stretch as you rock forward and back. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, how about lift the leg, pull the knee in towards you, gaze to your kneecap, and then extend out. So this again is core. We're pulling knee in towards belly, gazing at kneecap, and then extend back, push the heel away. Pull it in, extend it back, spine gets long. One more time, notice how this is cat pose. We're rounding the spine, we're gazing into our knee, and then we extend back. And circle the knee around and about. So circling around and about. Notice how that feels. And then bring the knee down and let your hips sway right and left and left and right. And come back to neutral. If at any point your wrists are so sore, come down onto your forearms. That's also another option. So I'll show that. So elbows are just about under shoulders, maybe a little bit forward. Same thing that we did with the hands. Extending the left leg back, push the calf away. By the way, you can stay on your hands, that's fine too. So rocking forward and back, stretching the calf out. Then lifting the leg, pull the knee in towards your belly, gaze in, belly's lifting up, 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 up towards spine. Extend long, push the heel away. Exhale, pull in, and inhale, press out. Exhale, we pull in. Inhale, we push away. Bring it in and press it away. Bring it in, one more, and press it away, and you might circle the knee around and about a few times. And then let's go into a modified child pose. So you're going to do what's right for you. You definitely might want a blanket in under your thighs. You might want one in between your knees. I'm just going to show you in case, or you could have a bolster or pillows. So it looks like this in case you're feeling any pinching. So here it looks like this now. Now you could have a big pillow or bolster there too. And then you're lengthening your arms. Now, if you have shoulder things going on, your elbows may be bent. They may be bent. And then you might let your hips sway right and left in your child pose. Breathing in and breathing out. And let's walk our arms towards the right. So you're making a little crescent moon, and you can pull your left hip back. That's a really nice side stretch. Really great to get into the little muscles in between your ribs. Breathe in and breathe out. And then walk your hands now towards the left. And same thing, but we're pushing the right hip back. Now the stretch is on the right side of your body. Breathing in and breathing out. Walk your hands back to neutral And of course, when we're working core, we got to look at that plank pose. So let's take a look at plank pose. There's all kinds of variations of it. You can be on your hands or on your forearms. You choose. And then your knees can be down or your knees can be up. By the way, you can stay up as long as you want or come down. You want to, again, take yourself down when you're feeling potentially over fatigued, right? When you start to notice you're tired, maybe you stay one more breath or so and then you come down. Now, palms are just forward to shoulders. As we lean forward, the belly pulls in and up and the ribs are not dipping down. That's really tough on your lower back and it's really not a plank. So pull the ribs back. This is plank with the knees down. This is plank with the knees up. Both of them are awesome. Breathing in, breathing out. Maybe you stay for like 5 breaths and you can work your way up over time to 10 breaths or start with just a few breaths and see how that is. Remembering you can also do forearms, but the important thing is to support your lower spine, whichever one you choose. And then we're going to slowly come on up and come on to our sitting bones for a version of boat pose. And there, again, many variations in adaptive yoga. So here's one where you can have your fingertips back behind you. So knees are bent forward in front of you, heels are down, roll the shoulders up and back. So this is a nice variation right here, and you can feel your core engaging. Now, if your lower back hurts you, then either pull that belly in and up, or maybe not do this pose, since I can't be there with you. Another variation is take your hands underneath your thighs, lift your heart, heels are down. Now, we did this pose, by the way, in the chair. We did a variation in the chair. So heart's lifted, and you're playing with, you can be upright, or you could, the more you lean back, the more you feel it. So honor your bodies. Where are your bodies this Friday morning? What are they telling you? So your hands can be behind your thighs, or maybe you lift one hand up, or both, and maybe you rock it a little bit forward and back. You can play with lifting a leg and lowering it, and lifting the other leg and lowering it. And some of you might play with lifting both legs. Hugging knees towards each other is another one, or you can push your hands into your knees as you lift your heart. So there's so many variations. And please be kind to yourself. That's most important. Be kind to yourself. Exhale, lower the heels down. We're going to come down onto our backs. You might have a little blanket nearby. And let's do the stretch behind the legs, because this is really so important for stretching the back of our legs. And then we'll do bridge after that. So coming on down, and you might have a little blanket underneath your head. Please not too high that it flattens your neck out. And so get yourself situated first. You can start in a bridge prep pose with the knees up. And maybe even check your breath out right here. You can even do that shush breath. Take a breath in, and as you shh, notice how your belly pulls in here. And then inhale, let that go. And exhaling, shh. And let that go. One more time. Shh. Just so you can feel what's going on down there. Now, rock your pelvis forward and back and find the center. So pelvis forward, the hip points are moving up, pelvis back, the hip points are moving down. I have my fingers on the hip points, by the way. So they roll up and then they roll back. And they roll up and they roll back. And see if you can find center between forward and back. Then placing the strap around your foot. and pressing your heel away from you. You might want to crisscross the strap. So you're pressing the footprint up towards the sky. Now you also can experiment with pushing the heel away from you, where it's more of a the leg is at a diag. Pull the shoulders up and back. So they're not lifting up like that from the strap. Press the shoulder blades down. And then you play with where you're going to get the best stretch. And try not to tug on the tie so much that your jaw clenches. Feel the nice stretch behind your legs. Some of you might extend the lower leg. That's if you're not feeling much and you want to feel a little bit more. So you're pushing both heels away from you and you're keeping that neutral pelvis. That neutral pelvis was that midway point between forward and back. And if you lose it, see if you can find it again. It's okay. It's really okay. And then you might turn the toes out and the heel in. And now you're going to feel another hamstring lengthening because we have 3 behind our legs. Make sure you're breathing in and you're breathing out. Soft breath in, soft breath out. Enjoy the stretch. Enjoy the stretch. I think this is one of the best stretches there are for stretching the legs. And then toes are back to facing forward towards you. And let the leg now come out to the side without letting your hip point. So I got my right leg out to the side. This left hip may want to lift, but don't let it. Push it down, down, down. Even if the right leg isn't going as far down, that's okay. Pull the shoulders back. Feel a nice inner thigh stretch. Breathing in, breathing out. And of course, you can extend that other leg if you need a little bit more. We're pushing the big toe mounds away. The toes are coming towards you. And then when you're ready, inhale, bring the leg back up. And exhale, release. And just notice how your legs feel. Notice how they feel. Very often, the leg you just stretched feels longer. And now we're going to do the other side. And I'm just going to turn. You don't need to, but that way you'll be able to see my leg. So go back to finding that neutral pelvis between forward and back. And that's a great place to start because if we keep the pelvis neutral, we'll get the best stretch. Then take the strap around your foot. Take the shoulders back as you push the heel away from you and settle in for the stretch, whether the leg is out like this or the footprint is up towards the sky, trying to straighten that knee, keeping the pelvis neutral. Take anywhere from 5 to 10 breaths in each position in this leg stretch. Breathing in and breathing out. And breath is in. And breath is out. Feel the sensation of the stretch. That's what's really most important because this is how you're drawing that mind-body connection. You're creating that connection as you feel the sensation, pushing the feet away from you. At the same time, feeling like this leg bone is going into the hip socket. And that'll also intensify the stretch. If you feel like this leg is getting heavier and heavier as it rests in the hip socket, breathe in and breathe out. And breath is in and breath is out. And then turn the heel in and the toes out and feel that sensation. So now the leg is turned out and stay there for about 5 or 10 breaths. This is just such a great stretch. You can do this in bed. You can do this in a chair. So this is one I highly recommend. I say that over and over again, but really it's just, this can really help your back as well. So your hamstrings aren't pulling on your back. And then bring the toes back forward, keeping the right hip down as the left leg goes out to the side. If that hip comes up, then lift the leg back up, the left leg back up, pin that right hip down and try again, keeping it down. Feel the sensation of the inner thigh opening up. So the other leg, the knee can be bent or breathe out as you push the heel away from you. Breathing in and breathing out. And breath is in and breath is out. And then inhale, leg comes back upright and lower the leg down and notice how your body feels putting the strap down. Just feel for a moment. This is the luxury of yoga, is that you get to feel and really bring your focus in that way to notice sensations. Now let's bring our heels underneath our knees. Press the shoulders down. We're going to push down through our feet and inhale and lift the hips up. And we're in bridge pose. This is a great little back bend. Some of you might want to put a block underneath you. I'm just going to show you because that's more of a restorative pose, but it's really nice. You can feel your hips on the block. It helps to feel like your hips are level. And it's a back bend. We're opening up the front of the body, and we're so used to shoulders hunching forward. This is a great place to reverse that Shlumpasana, and it's a relaxation pose too. You can use pillows if you don't have a block to rest your hips on, or you don't have to use the block and you can push down through your feet as you lift your hips up. And there's different variations you can do with your arms. I like to walk the shoulders underneath a little bit. You can play with elbows being out to the sides and forearms up. Make sure the back of your neck is not pushing down. We want a little curve behind the neck. So a little mouse could crawl underneath there. And then exhale, lower your hips if they're still up. And notice how that feels. And we'll go up one more time. So pushing down through feet, inhaling, lifting hips. Inhale, lifting hips. Breathe in and breathe out. Slowly lowering hips down. So for your final poses, you could do a spinal twist where you bring your knees in towards you and then let them lower down one way. And help your shoulders relax down. Elbows can be bent or straight. And some of you might want to put a block or pillows underneath your knees if they're not going all the way down. Staying on one side for 5 to 10 breaths. Feel your breathing. It's starting to settle down. As you know, it's towards the end of your practice. And then when you're ready, you'll switch sides and have your knees go the other direction. Maybe you have a block under them if your knees aren't all the way down on the earth. And you can adjust your shoulders and your spine so that if you were drawing a line from the middle of your chest down to your hips that was about lined up. And breathe here. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breath is in. And breath is out. Relaxing with each breath. When you're ready, come out of your twist. You bring your knees back up and find your way to your final resting pose. Now, some of you might want to rest in lying down butterfly, which looks like this. I would put pillows or blocks underneath your knees, feet together, knees apart, and hands on belly. Otherwise, you can put a bolster underneath your knees, or whatever you've got. And walk your shoulders underneath you with your palms facing upward. That's a nice option. Or you might put your feet up on a chair. That's a wonderful option for you to relax and let your body soak in your practice. The breath is just effortless now. You're not trying to change it. Just notice it and feel it as it is. Accepting the breath, accepting your body, maybe sending gratitude to your body for all that it's done for you since you woke up today, or all it's done for you your whole life. Gratitude for our breath, gratitude for the blessings in our life. As you relax, feel that inner smile. So this is a time of stillness. But if you need to move, of course, move and make yourself comfortable. You might cover yourself with a blanket. Some people consider this, and I say it all the time, the most important pose, and it really is, and a lot of people want to skip it. But your body will thank you for giving it just a little break before you move on with your day. Relaxing, releasing with each exhale. Breathe in and breathe out. Breath is in and breath is out. So stay as long as you want in this resting pose. I'll come up just to close the class, but you can stay because you're home. And when we come out of Shavasana, we roll to the side. Maybe stay in the fetal position a little bit. And then when you're ready, use your hands to rise up, coming up to seated. And bringing our palms together in front of our heart with gratitude